South Africa is bracing for another wave of nationwide protests after the June 30th demonstrations reignited fierce debate over immigration, jobs, border security, and service delivery. More than 20 coordinated marches are now set to take place across the country as weekly Thursday protests officially begin. Welcome back to Mzansi News Daily News, and as always, kindly smash the subscribe button, like, and share this video. Tensions are rising, opinions are deeply divided, and the nation is watching closely. Stay with us until the end, where I'll give my full analysis of what these marches could mean for South Africa.
South Africa, we understand what you are doing, but do it legally. If someone has a business in South Africa, it is wrong for you to take what belongs to that person. Wrong. Claiming that, oh, you know, they are taking your jobs. How many jobs you also are taking from Kenyans? Are there not South Africans in Nigeria, in Uganda, in Kenya? If other nations also say the same thing, we understand that point of view, but let it be very clear that the people we are dealing with are illegal immigrants, but someone cannot have documents and you're still taking them out of a nation.
The only African country on this continent that I have seen that Africans are mobilizing themselves, ganging up, teaming up to fight against is South Africans. It's South Africa. Congolese are dying in silence. They have been going through silent genocide for so many years. Africans are quiet. Nigeria is bleeding. People are dying in Nigeria day in and day out. Over 500 people can be slaughtered like camels, like chickens, like animals in Nigeria in just one night attack. Africans are quiet. Black Africans are suffering, are becoming slaves in Libya. Africans are quiet. Africans are being chased away from Morocco, Egypt. Africans are being treated like slaves in Tunisia. Africans are quiet. But the moment they will hear that South Africans are xenophobic towards Africa, hey, we supported you in apartheid, we saved you, that's when Africans will rise up. We saved you in apartheid, we supported you in apartheid, we fought for you in apartheid. When South Africans were dying, Mandela came and borrowed money from us to save South Africans. Bunch of nonsense.
For many South Africans, the events unfolding today are not just another protest. They represent another chapter in one of the country's most emotionally charged and politically divisive debates. Only a week ago, many people questioned whether the announcement made after the 30th of June demonstrations would amount to anything. Some dismissed it as political rhetoric. Others believe the momentum would quickly disappear. But today, Thursday, the 9th of July, that prediction has become reality. Across South Africa, more than 20 separate marches are scheduled to take place under one coordinated message. Supporters say these are peaceful community actions calling for stricter enforcement of immigration laws, while critics argue the demonstrations risk deepening tensions and fueling hostility toward foreign nationals. Supporters insist the objective is law enforcement, not violence. Opponents warn that even peaceful rhetoric can have unintended consequences. Well, whichever perspective one holds, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The immigration debate has entered a new phase. Today is no longer simply about a single protest. It is about what happens every Thursday from now on. According to the announcement made by March and March leader Jacinta, the movement intends to continue rolling demonstrations every Thursday across different parts of South Africa. The marches are centered around calls for immigration laws to be enforced, with organizers saying their focus is undocumented foreign nationals residing illegally in the country. The movement has consistently stated that participants should reject violence, reject tribalism, reject discrimination among South Africans, and respect the Constitution, while urging employers to comply with labor and immigration legislation. Organizers have also encouraged communities to work with local police by identifying suspected criminal activity, drug dens, and workplaces where they believe undocumented workers may be employed, while asking law enforcement authorities to investigate and act where violations of the law are found. Supporters argue that South Africa needs space to address unemployment, strained public services, corruption and governance challenges, believing that stricter enforcement of existing immigration laws forms part of that solution. At the same time, the movement has continued to generate criticism both inside and outside South Africa. Many foreign nationals and Pan-African voices argue that the campaign unfairly targets migrants, risks increasing fear within community, and may contribute to xenophobic attitudes if not carefully managed. This disagreement has created two very different conversations unfolding simultaneously across the continent. One focuses on national sovereignty and law enforcement. The other focuses on African solidarity, human dignity, and regional unity. That debate becomes evident in the next reaction.
South Africa, we understand what you are doing, but do it legally. If someone has a business in South Africa, it is wrong for you to take what belongs to that person. Wrong. Claiming that, oh, you know, they are taking your jobs. How many jobs you also are taking from Kenyans? Are there not South Africans in Nigeria, in Uganda, in Kenya? If other nations also say the same thing, we understand that point of view, but let it be very clear that the people we are dealing with are illegal immigrants, but someone cannot have documents and you're still taking them out of a nation. Stop treating your fellow brothers as your enemies. And to you, the people outside that are not South Africans, honor South Africans. Let there be mutual understanding. I was expecting that the ambassador of Kenya to South Africa, the ambassador of what? These are the jobs of ambassadors. I saw videos South Africans beating people, and then they are coming here and say, one of them was asked, did you slap the person? And he's claiming he never slapped him. And you can see the video. Please, let's do things the right way. We are not enemies. Non-South Africans respect South Africans' constitution. South Africans understand that foreigners, even the Bible says that those that honor strangers, you never know. There are very clear guidelines on foreign policies. This work I do, I didn't choose. I also want to be loved by everyone. But I refuse to be a coward. I don't know if I should show you that scripture in Revelation, but the cowardly, cowards, you will not enter heaven. Cowards. Cowards. Keep friends that are willing to keep God. You want to lose God? Then I'm willing to lose you. Let's make a better nation. Africa belongs to Africans. Kenya belongs to Kenyans. South Africa belongs to South Africans. But understand, it's needful for us to share. If there are South Africans in other nations, treat other people from other nations well.
The Kenyan speaker delivers a passionate appeal for restraint, mutual respect, and peaceful coexistence. His central message is straightforward. South Africans and foreign nationals should not view each other as enemies. He calls upon foreign nationals to respect South Africa's constitution, while equally urging South Africans to treat fellow Africans with dignity. His broader argument is rooted in Pan-African solidarity, the belief that Africans should stand together regardless of nationality. However, one important distinction must always be made in responsible journalism. The speaker also refers to incidents in which foreign nationals were allegedly assaulted during protests. Such allegations deserve to be treated carefully. Whenever claims of assault, intimidation or misconduct are made, they should be supported by credible evidence or official investigations rather than assumptions. In a society already experiencing heightened emotions, accuracy matters. Unverified claims can inflame tensions just as easily as inflammatory rhetoric. At the same time, genuine victims where incidents do occur also deserve justice and accountability. Both principles can exist together. Facts should never be sacrificed in favor of emotion, nor should emotion prevent legitimate concerns from being heard. This is precisely why constitutional rights remain so important. South Africans have the right to peaceful protest. Foreign nationals, regardless of their immigration status, also have legal rights during any law enforcement process. The Constitution provides the framework within which both immigration enforcement and human dignity must coexist. Yet, as criticism of the marches continues to grow, another voice has emerged asking a different question entirely. Instead of asking whether South Africa should enforce its immigration laws, this perspective asks why similar concern is not consistently shown for humanitarian crises occurring elsewhere across Africa.
The only African country on this continent that I have seen that Africans are mobilizing themselves, ganging up, teaming up to fight against is South Africans. It's South Africa. Congolese are dying in silence. They have been going through silent genocide for so many years. Africans are quiet. Nigeria is bleeding. People are dying in Nigeria day in and day out. Over 500 people can be slaughtered like camels, like chickens, like animals in Nigeria in just one night attack. Africans are quiet. Black Africans are suffering, are becoming slaves in Libya. Africans are quiet. Africans are being chased away from Morocco, Egypt. Africans are being treated like slaves in Tunisia. Africans are quiet. But the moment they will hear that South Africans are xenophobic towards Africa, hey, we supported you in apartheid, we saved you, that's when Africans will rise up. We saved you in apartheid, we supported you in apartheid, we fought for you in apartheid. When South Africans were dying, Mandela came and borrowed money from us to save South Africans. Bunch of nonsense. Hypocrisy is killing Africans. So you want to tell me that the people that are dying in Nigeria, they are not Africans? You want to tell me that Africans that are going through hell in some of the North African countries, they're not Africans? You want to tell me that the kind of pain some Africans are going through in their various countries, they are not Africans? And you guys don't have voices to talk about, but the moment it's about South Africa, that's when everybody is intelligent, everybody is intellectual, that you go to school, South Africans, teach them and remind them that Africans helped them during the time of apartheid. That's when Africans will be reminding South Africans. And this is how hypocrite we are on this continent of Africa. And this is how hypocrite we are. This energy that we are turning on South Africans, if you like, let us turn the same energy in our individual countries and see that things will not get better. Let's stop hypocrisy and one-sided Pan-Africanism and save this continent together.
Unlike the previous speaker, this commentator approaches the debate from an entirely different angle. Rather than focusing primarily on South Africa's treatment of foreign nationals, he challenges what he views as selective outrage across the continent. His argument is essentially about consistency. He points to armed conflict in parts of Africa, insecurity, kidnappings, terrorism, displacement, and humanitarian crises, asking why these issues often receive comparatively less public mobilization than allegations involving South Africa. Importantly, these are presented as questions and opinions intended to provoke discussion rather than as allegations directed toward any single country. Whether one agrees or disagrees with his conclusions, the broader issue he raises deserves consideration. Should Pan-African solidarity become most visible only when South Africa is involved? Or should that same solidarity be equally evident whenever Africans face suffering anywhere on the continent? That question does not dismiss concerns about South Africa. Instead, it broadens the discussion. It asks whether Africans can consistently advocate for human rights regardless of borders, nationality, or political circumstance. Although these two speakers appear to disagree, they actually share one important common principle. Neither ultimately argues that Africans should become enemies. The Kenyan speaker emphasizes compassion, coexistence, and mutual respect. The second speaker emphasizes fairness, consistency, and equal concern for all Africans. Where they differ is in where they place their primary focus. One fears that migrants are being unfairly targeted. The other fears that South Africa is being unfairly singled out. Both perspectives reveal the complexity of modern Pan-Africanism. Can African unity coexist with national sovereignty? Can countries enforce immigration laws while maintaining respect for human dignity? Can governments protect borders without communities turning against one another? These questions have no simple answers. Today's demonstrations also illustrate something larger than immigration itself. They demonstrate growing public frustration over unemployment, service delivery, crime, corruption, and economic hardship. Supporters of the marches believe stronger enforcement of immigration laws forms part of addressing these pressures. Critics argue that South Africa's structural challenges, including economic growth, governance, corruption, and public service delivery, cannot be solved by immigration enforcement alone. Both perspectives acknowledge that the country faces serious socioeconomic challenges. Where they differ is over how much immigration contributes to those challenges and what solutions should receive priority. Ultimately, enforcing immigration legislation remains the responsibility of the state through lawful procedures. Peaceful protest is a constitutional right, so too is the rule of law. The strength of any democracy lies in ensuring that both principles operate together. As South Africa enters what organizers hope will become weekly Thursday demonstrations, today's events may prove to be only the beginning rather than the conclusion of this national conversation. The immigration debate is no longer confined to Parliament. It is unfolding in communities, workplaces, social media platforms, and across the African continent. What happens next will depend not only on protesters, but also on government responses, law enforcement, employers, civil society, and the willingness of all involved to remain within the boundaries of the law. The challenge now is ensuring that passionate public debate does not become public division. Because while opinions may differ sharply, South Africa's future will ultimately depend on whether difficult national conversations can be conducted peacefully, lawfully, and with respect for the rights and dignity of every person. Those are the developments surrounding today's coordinated Thursday marches taking place across South Africa. As events continue to unfold, we will monitor official statements, developments on the ground, and reactions from all stakeholders, bringing you verified information as it becomes available. Thank you for watching. If you found this report informative, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our continuing coverage of the stories shaping South Africa and the African continent. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and above all, stay safe.